Say that it feels right.
Hey guys, welcome back for another Clash Royale video. So in today's video we will have another returning guest, which is Jorge Luis, back on the channel to share how he got to number 2 in the world with Giant Graveyard. He's using 3 variants of Giant Graveyard, so yeah, let's take a look at the decks. And by the way, he's currently number 2. He was number 1 like I think some hours ago, but I think Remy overtook him, and yeah, back onto the decks. So he'll be using 3 decks, the first one being the classic Giant Graveyard with the Mini P.E.K.K.A and Bats and Musketeers, Skami and all those stuff. The second variation, however, is with the Dark Prince and the minions instead of the Bats and the Mini P.E.K.K.A, which I think is more suitable to this in this meta, maybe. And the third one being this Giant Witch Graveyard deck, which he shared in the last video. If you guys haven't watched the last video, feel free to do so. The link will be in the description. Man, I gotta say it's a very OP deck, I would say, because you don't see Witch in 8K. Like maybe 1 or 2 people playing it, and Jorge Luis is one of them, and he reached 8.3k with it, so it's very impressive. And yeah, without further ado, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video, and don't forget to follow Jorge Luis as well. He does have a Twitter. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say, and on to our first replay. Okay, on to our first game against Boss, who's I think everyone knows who Boss is. He's a YouTuber, streamer, and a pro, and he's using Egiant. Now Jorge Luis did bring the Mini P.E.K.K.A for it, so I think he's sniping Boss, maybe, but he could have used another deck, but he decided to use Giant Graveyard. So yeah. And he's gonna cycle Giant at the back, and Boss will mirror it with an Inferno D. And notice that Jorge Luis doesn't have the Musketeer in hand, so it's actually very hard for him to deal with the Inferno D, which will target onto the Giant. And now, okay, Snowball comes down, so that was pretty nice, forcing the Inferno D to retarget onto something. And now the Mini P.E.K.K.A will finish off the Egiant. Meanwhile, Giant got some damage as well as the Skami, and he still has to deal with the Dark Prince though. I think he will just let it go, then maybe Giant again, or just Mini P.E.K.K.A and Graveyard, I'm not too sure. Okay, Boss plays a Bomber. Now, is Jorge Luis gonna arrow though? Okay, he's gonna arrow the Bomber off, and now yeah, Boss is gonna play a Nado onto the Bats and all those stuff. Witch comes down for the Musketeer, spawning 2 pigs, and Jorge Luis just plays Skami opposite lane because he knows that Boss doesn't have Nado or Witch in hand right now. It will get some value, but the Witch actually got a lot of damage, so I'm not too sure if that was the right play, but he's Jorge Luis, so he's like one of the best Giant Graveyards player. So I'm not going to question his actions, and he's going to pressure opposite lane now with Giant supporting by the Musketeer. Now Mini P.E.K.K.A comes down. Lightning is played by Boss, and Snowball for the Inferno D, resetting it. Now Nado to pull it away. So the Giant actually got a lot of damage because what am I trying to say? Boss doesn't have the best counters in hand. So okay, Jorge Luis is gonna pressure again with Giant and the Musketeer, and I think Boss is just gonna let it go. Oh, maybe not. He's gonna play a Cage, and yeah, I'm pretty sure Jorge Luis will just sack the tower, and then yeah, he's gonna Skami onto the Dark Prince after take down the tower. And Nado is played by Boss to mitigate the damage onto the King Tower. Jorge Luis played a Musketeer and arrows, and Lightning comes down for the Musketeer. Mini P.E.K.K.A is played, and now is Jorge Luis gonna poke Giant in the pocket? Yes, he does. He's gonna Giant and then Skami onto the Bomber. Snowball comes down for the Inferno D and the Witch as well, and yeah, the Skami and Giant are hammering away at the towers. Nado is played by Boss. Oh, that Giant actually will get a shot, so that brings Jorge Luis to spell range, which is a snowball and an arrow. Okay, it's gonna graveyard and min pack up, and yeah, that will do it. So yeah, very nice game against boss, who's playing Egiant. Okay, on to our second game against EMP Love Die. Okay, that's weird. He's playing Bridge Spam, and oh yeah, I forgot to check what Jorge Luis is playing. Like I said, he was playing 3 variants of Giant Graveyard deck, so I didn't check which one he has currently. And okay, he has the Dark Prince and the Minions version. So Snowball and Arrows are gonna finish off the Magic Archer. Okay, and is he gonna? Yeah, it's probably gonna. Okay, it's not. Alright, he might not know what EMP has, so that's why he went in with Dark Prince, just to be safe. And now he sees the Ram Rider. He's pretty sure that he doesn't have Zap, and so he played Scummy on defense. Now it's not gonna respond to it, right? Yep. Bob will get a hit, but it doesn't really matter. And now Jorge Luis will Giant opposite lane. Okay. It's probably gonna support it with minions or something like that, because it's annoying for EMP to deal with. He has to spend like Fireball or maybe Magic Archer onto it. Okay, the Magic Archer will target onto the minions though, unfortunately, and yeah, the Giant went into waste. Okay, he's gonna sack the Magic Archer as well. Okay. Okay, it's gonna Dark Prince onto the Bandit, and it's gonna wait, and now the Ram Rider to pull Dark Prince and pressuring at the same time. It's gonna Scummy most likely, or just Snowball and then. Okay, it's gonna Snowball and then Scummy, or else the Ram Rider will have charged onto the tower. Now the opponent tries to pressure with the Bob and the Lumberjack, which actually worked off. So Jorge Luis is now down 2000 damage, and he's giving the game already. So yeah, I'm not too sure what's the reason behind that, but yeah, he's gonna probably play the Musketeer, shooting down the troops. Barbarrow and Fireball is played, but Snowball comes down for the Infinity, resetting it. Now Scummy and the Dark Prince will finish off the Ram Rider. Meanwhile, the Magic Archer and towers are targeting onto the skeletons of the graveyard. So Jorge Luis actually got some damage, but not as quite as EMP got when he played the Lumberjack. And now the opponent's back to another Ram Rider. It's gonna play Musketeer and probably Snowball to kill the charge. And the opponent's gonna Fireball as well, and Jorge Luis is gonna Giant at the back, try to make it another push, and the opponent's gonna do the same thing again, which is Infinity at the back, then probably Magic Archer. Okay, no, he's gonna go in with the Lumberjack. Musketeer to snipe down the Infinity. Okay, no, okay. Probably afraid of the Barbarrow, and yeah, I'm not too sure, but the Musketeer is still surviving though on the side of the map, shooting down the Inferno D. And Jorge Luis is gonna respond to Ram Rider with Scummy and minions. So he's closing the lead actually, slowly, and he's gonna use the Giant to kite the Bandit, and now he's gonna make another push. It's gonna Snowball though. Okay, he's gonna minions. If he snowballs, then it might be dangerous, and because the opponent could go in with Ram Rider plus Fireball, but it's not over until it is over. And now he's gonna cycle arrow at the tower. Okay, in the midst of the battle, he's gonna cycle arrows at the tower. Okay, and now he's gonna Giant in front of the Musketeer on the same lane as the opponent trying to go. Now he's gonna play Dark Prince on the right lane, and he's gonna split Scummy minions target to allow the what am I trying to say, minions for the Inferno D, and now it's gonna Graveyard and Giant as well, because the opponent doesn't have the Inferno D in cycle. Now Snowball comes down to reset the Inferno D, and Giant will actually get a lot of damage, and there's only 20 seconds left for the opponent to do anything. So it's gonna probably snowball and then Scammy. And Magic Archer is actually connecting onto the tower though, so yeah, it's actually very close, but yeah, the minions will finish off the tower. And yeah, that was pretty close. The Magic Archer was like 2 shots away from taking down the tower, and yeah, that was a very nice game until the end, and Jorge Luis came back from that game. Okay, this time he's using the Witch version of the Giant Graveyard deck, which has the Infinity and Fireball, Stuffed Snowball, and the Musketeer and Vats. So the opponent's playing Giant Balloon, Freeze. It's like a, I don't know, mid-ladder deck, but yeah, it's still early in the season, so and you could face anything top ladder. And the opponent's name is Joker, I believe. And now Jorge plays a Witch into the Giant, which is pretty nice. Now Infinity for the balloons. Opponent's probably gonna freeze. Okay, he misses the Witch though. Okay, that might cost him the game actually, because yeah, I think that's pretty much GG. You can't make mistakes like that in top ladder, man. Like, not freezing the Witch, even if the opponent freezes the Witch, I think Joker wouldn't have enough elixir to defend against this push either. Scammy pressuring on opposite lane, this is what Jorge Luis does every single time. It's the usual Giant Graveyard stuff. And yeah, the opponent's down quite a lot of elixir right now. 3 elixir. And he's down the tower. So yeah, that's pretty much GG already. But I'm pretty sure the opponent will still take down the tower because Jorge Luis doesn't have a building to pull the Giant or the Balloon. And the opponent has freeze as well. So it's actually very hard for Jorge Luis to defend, but the opponent made a mistake in the beginning, so yeah, and the Witch will force out Mega as well. Fireball onto the Mega and the Infinity. And this is what I was saying. And the Jorge Luis will just sack the tower and then goes in for the 3 crown and the 2 crown. Okay, freeze comes down for the opponent. From the opponent, he wants the Infinity to be freezed, so that doesn't kill the Valkyrie. And now Jorge Luis does have the lead, but it's actually very dangerous for him because the opponent can just go in if Jorge Luis overcommitted on offense. But I don't think he will though. And the Infinity is going onto the left lane, which is pretty unfortunate for the opponent. Graveyard comes down from Jorge Luis. Arrows for the Scammy, and Jorge plays his own Scammy to retarget the Infinity, and yeah, things are looking pretty good for him right now. And he's having another push coming in with Dark Prince and the Witch remaining on the field. And a second Witch comes down, which will finish off the Mega and the Infinity as well. The opponent's gonna go in, like I said, with Giant and the Balloon, but I don't think that will be enough though. An arrow comes down as well, so that even if the opponent freezes, doesn't really matter. Now Scammy onto the Witch. Okay, that was like what 5k play would do. But yeah, and Jorge is gonna pressure again with Giant and Graveyard and the Pocket, and I'm pretty sure this will. Okay, the Infinity burn the Giant away, so probably it's gonna do the same thing again, which is Giant Balloon and Fireball. Yes, the exact same thing. This is what I was talking about. Even if the opponent freezes, doesn't really matter. And Dark Prince to soak up a little bit of the Infinity's damage, because the Infinity was very close to the tower. And now Jorge is gonna pressure with Giant on the bridge this time, because he knows that the opponent's gonna try to predict with Infinity in the middle. Now Fireball comes down for the Valkyrie, pushing it back, and the opponent has to freeze, or else the Giant would have got a shot. But I believe that's spell cycle range. Yeah, that's spell range, I think. And Scammy will finish off the Giant of the opponent, and the Balloon won't actually do enough. And yeah, it's spell range already, and skeletons, and yeah, the arrows will take the game. So yeah, another very nice game against a very weird but okay giant balloon deck. And yeah. Okay, on to our next game against Pheno Final Form. I'm not sure if this is the real Pheno Final Form though. I mean, he usually uses his signature RG Hawk deck with Sparky. But this time around he's playing Goblin Giant Sparky with Rage. And yeah, let's see how Jorge Luis will deal with this matchup. And he's playing his Witch deck again. I'm pretty sure he was sniping people, so that's why he that's why he used this deck. Or else he could have just kept using the same deck and then, well, yeah. Okay, the opponent just so happens to have Mother Witch for Jorge Luis. I think the opponent is sniping as well, because Mother Witch is actually really good against the graveyard, unless you have Fireball. Even if you have Fireball, it's still very tough. Fireball comes down, finishing off the mid packer, which was very important. And just like that, Pheno Final Form actually has a big lead over Jorge Luis. And yeah, it's only a minute, so anything could still happen though. Yeah, Skeletons will get some damage, which is pretty nice. And Jorge Luis will have to deal with this push by Pheno Final Form. He does have Zap. He's probably gonna play it, or maybe not. Okay, he's not gonna play it. Okay, that was weird. Oh, okay. Let's see what Jorge does. He's gonna chill a bit. If he giants at the back, probably the opponent will play Sparky, and okay, he's gonna do the same thing again, which is Scammy at the bridge. And that was pretty weird, I thought, because the opponent can pressure both lanes. But the Skeletons will actually help out on defense though, because yeah, it's tanking a lot of damage for the Dark Prince. But the Dark Prince of Pheno Final Form actually did a lot of damage, and Jorge is gonna go in with Giant and Graveyard as well. Meanwhile, Sparky is played but doesn't really do anything, and the Scammy actually will take down the second tower as well on the left side. So yeah, things are looking pretty great for him. I mean, yeah. I think Pheno Final Form made a huge mistake by winning with the Sparky. So yeah, a very short and nice game by Jorge Luis. Okay, on to our last game against Pavel, Love Lava, who is playing Lava Loon. And Jorge is back to his Dark Prince minions variation of the Giant Graveyard. Because I think he brought minions because maybe the opponent's playing. He knows that maybe he's playing. What am I trying to say? Maybe he knows that the opponent is playing Lava, so that's why he brought minions. Because usually Lava players will bring either arrows or Zap. So it was a nice bet for Jorge. And now the Snowball will push back the Infinity, retargeting, making it harder, but doesn't seem to be so harder to get damage onto the Giant. And the opponent's gonna pressure with Mine as well, forcing out Scammy from Jorge Luis, because he just cycled a Dark Prince on the left lane, and the opponent's gonna minions, and arrow comes down for the minions by Jorge Luis, allowing the Dark Prince to get a lot of damage in. The opponent's gonna set up another Tombstone. Okay. And now Jorge is gonna play minions at the back, and the opponent's gonna play Infinity, anticipating the Giant. Okay, looking at the opponent's hand, he does have... Okay, he's not playing Lava. Okay, for some reason I thought he was playing Lava. Yeah. And the opponent does have the barbs as well, so it's actually very hard for Jorge to connect onto the tower for a lot of damage. But yeah, so far he's doing great on both sides of the tower. Balloon actually won't take down the tower, so that's pretty nice for Jorge. And means the opponent still has to spend elixir on it and not just defend for the whole game. Okay, for some reason I really thought the opponent played Lava. It's probably because of the name. And okay, Jorge is gonna play Jet and Musketeer at the back. He's okay. The opponent's gonna pressure opposite lane with balloon and miner. Minions played right away, and arrows comes down for the minions, and snowballs probably played onto the infinity, allowing the musketeer to DPS it down. And this is what I was saying: the giant won't get through unless he plays another one. Okay, which is what he does. He's gonna go in with giant and graveyard now, and yeah, the skeletons are doing a great job. And a Skami comes down because he knew that the opponent is forced to play arrows. So yeah, that was a very nice play by him. And now Dark Prince in the pocket to try to take down the second tower. And meanwhile, the minions and the skeletons are taking a lot of damage. Doing a lot of damage onto the king tower. So yeah, bringing down the king tower to triple digit. So yeah, that things are looking great for the opponent right now. But the opponent's gonna still try though. It's gonna pressure opposite lane, and yeah, Jorge is gonna play graveyard and then giant in the pocket. Skeletons will take the 3 crowns. So yeah, a very nice game against Lava Miner. Yeah, that should be the deck. I mean, not Lava Miner, a Miner Loon. Yeah, that should be the name. Sorry about that. Okay, so I want to thank Jorge Luis for coming onto the channel again. He shared some awesome giant graveyard gameplay. Granted, it's still very early in the season, so I hope he can get a good finish. Maybe he can come onto the channel again later on in the season. So yeah, don't forget to follow him. He does have a Twitter, like I said. Link will be in the description. And yeah, he uses a lot of decks, so I'm gonna include all the deck links in the description as well. So yeah, don't worry about that. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment what you guys want to see in the future videos. And I'll try to find guests, but it's not that easy though, because it's still early in the season. No one's really pushing right now, but I'll still try my best to create content. And yeah, stay tuned for more video. And yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.